Alright, I'm gonna try. We always work in this teeny tiny little space of mine. I know you guys aren't used to my lives, which is completely fine. But I need to plug my phone in. Okay. I always work in this teeny tiny little space over here. So I just cleaned it all off while I'm plugging my phone in so we don't die. Okay. I'm going to put these gloves on and start mixing epoxy, because it's the funnest part. Okay. Hello, hello. I feel so funny. Look, I got my hair ready for epoxy. It's up and it's out of the way. Okay. For a second there, I was like, whoa. Sorry, I have to have the light on for a second. Otherwise, I will never be able to see my lines as I splash epoxy everywhere. And we're going to go 30 because we're doing 3. And to start off, we're just going to mix it. Now, the best part about doing these little mini cups is that I don't really worry too much about my bubbles. Especially when you're doing the teas and stuff and the pop and whatnot, because they're supposed to have bubbles in it, because they're caffeinated. And I know if my pop doesn't have bubbles in it, we got a problem. So it's that's a good thing about these tiny little things. A little backstory on me: I've been making these actually for a very long time. Except I used to make them for dolls instead of for adults. So this is a little bit of a change. And I am not going to do it with topping because I cannot find my clay or my silicone or any of that stuff at the moment. So we're just going to show you guys the basics. And of course, I'm not watching the screen. Hello, hello. Yeah, I was like, you know, if you guys know me, my hair is to my butt. And it gets in my epoxy a lot. It's not fun. So, these are already pre-made. So we have the one for the slushie. We have the one for the coffee. And we got the little thing on the back. And of course, recycle. And then the one for the tea. So we are ready to rock after we mix epoxy. It's like mixing all day. And like I said earlier, I'm not worrying too much about my bubbles. If it was a cup, I would worry about my bubbles. But we want bubbles. So, which do you want to learn how to do first? Oh, anytime. I mean, I figured you guys were like, who's going to do the live? I was like, I mean, I have them. I can do it. I don't mind at all. So, I feel like that's good enough. You want to know the one thing I didn't bring over here? My mat. And there goes glitter. Okay. There we go. Let me just peel some stuff off of here. This is why we use silicone. Okay, so I mixed 20 ml or 30 ml of both. Part A and part B. And I feel like we're going to start with the tea. So, I'm going to dump just a little. Maybe that's probably way too much, so I'm going to dump some back. There. I have about, I don't know if you guys can see that much epoxy in this cup. Let me push my phone further down. Let me go over a little. I do. These SVGs are on my site. They're downloads instant. If you have sticker paper, you can do it at home. They are on 12 by 12 sheets. So, and I did it. So if you want to, you can edit however you want. But that's not my group, so we'll talk about that at a later time. So I am using ginger. I'm doing the tea first, I guess, because I wasn't really paying attention. And then I'm going to mix it with some butterscotch. I'm from the north, so we drink a lot of just iced tea without sugar in it, because we're northerners. So we're just, that needs to be a little bit darker, so we're going to add more. Maybe one more drop. And I like to start with a little bit and go darker, because if you start too dark, you can't make it lighter. I mean, you could, but you'd have to add other things. So, we try to, this has silicone all over it. Realistically, this is the color we're looking for. And right now, this is the color I got. So I'm just going to put maybe one more drop. And I think that may have done it. So that's what we're working with. And iced tea always has ice in it. And I'm going to put this in after I pour my epoxy, because I want to know how much of that I need. So here's my cup. I know other people like to do it other ways. You know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. So far, that's what we're looking like. And if you don't have little fake ice, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. Clear plastic beads do the same exact thing. And nobody would ever be able to tell that they were clear plastic beads. To be honest. I know you can't see what I was doing, but I'm dumping the ice in here as it's falling off of my glove. And I'm just going to shove it down in there. And it's really, iced tea is really a preference on how dark you want it. But so far, that is how we did the iced tea. Literally, let me put the lid on this so I'm not spilling epoxy everywhere. And you guys can see it. And to be correct, let's shove that down in there. So there we go. That is how we made the iced tea, with a little bit of alcohol ink, resin, and some ice. And you can just see the ice. And that is super simple, guys. Super simple. Brown water. So, and it's got the little decal on it, and then we've got the decaf stuff on the bottom, or on the back, and then the recycle on the bottom. Next, we are going to go to the coffee, and I still have some of this left over, so I'm just going to put a little bit more in here, and I'm going to use brown mica, because it's coffee colored and it's amazing. Using the same I can't talk, I give up. Stir stick, but I'm using the other side of it. Now, are we going to make iced coffee or regular coffee? Because I know in my coffee, it's never black. It's like brown with creamer. I just died. All over the place. So, that is usually what my coffee looks like.
Mom, can I come in?
Iced coffee, you can come in, I don't care. So we're going to basically make it the same way that we just did that iced tea. Where's the wipes? After I knock you off in your head.
That was the trash.
Okay, good. So before I get epoxy all over this cup, let me get it off of my gloves real quick. Just in case.
Hi again.
That is my daughter. Okay. So here's the coffee cup. And we're gonna dump now this could be up to preference how dark you want to make it. You can make it darker, you can make it whatever color you want. I mean, these are your creations. This is just how dark I like my coffee, which is not very dark at all because it's full of creamer. I'm really not a coffee drinker. And you guys said ice, so we're gonna dump some more out. This time we're gonna just throw it in there. Now, I don't know about you, but there's not a whole lot of ice in my coffee. When I get it, it's usually a frappe. So I maybe could have done that like a slushie, but we're going to do that next.
Brownies are on my cameras.
We're just going to shove that down, maybe more. Maybe just a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to put the lid on this, and then I'm going to show you guys, and then we get to go to the fun part.
Oh, there it is.
Which is the slushies. And it's actually a good thing that I'm making it, because my daughter's friend broke hers at school the other day. So there we are. We have coffee. And of course, if you wanted to, you could put like little white creamer in it with like white mica. I had it over here, but I didn't do it. And then you just swirl it in. You could make it frothy. You can add the little, they are the poop molds. If you get them, the ones that stand straight up and down, and you put resin in there and either white paint or mica or glitter or whatever, they're the perfect size for these cups. So, easiest way to go about that. Or you can get clay and you can mold it up and put it together and bake it, and it would be the same. But that was super simple little coffee cup. And then now we're going to do the fun part, which is the slushies. And for this, we do this different, of course. You need coarse sea salt. You can use really any coarse salt, but I like to use the sea salt because of the difference it makes in the cups itself. There is a difference. It's not really a big difference, but oh my goodness. You can tell, and I'm about to show you in just a second.
Mom, can I say hi to the...
No, because it's not my group.
What? Really?
Yeah. So anyways,
what group is it?
It's not mine. We are just going to put a teeny tiny little bit of resin in here. I mean, and when I say a teeny tiny little bit, I mean a teeny tiny little bit. You do not need a lot at all. So we're going to do this slushie in, here's one I've previously done, which is super adorable. We're going to use purple. We're going to use hot pink and orange and maybe white. So we need 4 of these. And once again, I did not use a lot at all. Let's got that and that. Look at that. Worked out perfect. So all of my cups just have a teeny tiny little bit of epoxy in them. And before I put that in there, I'm going to put the colorants. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So we're going to do white, orange, pink, and purple. Alright, real quick, I'm going to mix these up, and it doesn't matter if there's bubbles. Bubbles do not even account for what we're about to do. Because it's easy, it's simple, and it's fun. So we've got that one mixed. And I like to do this with mica. But you can do it with alcohol ink. You can do it with food coloring. You could probably do it with paint. Sky's the limit, people. And there's a ton of orange. I always end up with more orange than everything else. I must really secretly like the color orange. And right now I'm just mixing up the mica into the little bit of epoxy in here, so you guys are really not missing a thing. Here's where it gets fun. Here's the coarse sea salt. And we are going to figure, oh, it's pop open. I have another one in the kitchen that opens by pushing. So we are going to, that was a lot. Add about that much salt. And I literally mean salt. So there's just enough epoxy and colorant in this cup just to coat the salt. You don't need it to do anything else other than just kind of coat, because you want the salt to keep its form, because that's the whole point, right? Because the more realistic it looks, the better. So we have the pink is done, and it looks, I'm going to show you, like that, all bunched up. Now we're going to move on to the purple. which is going to be more of a lavendery. Whew, it's hard to mix after a minute. So there's the purple. Mix in the white with that much salt. Whew, my hands are like feeling it today. And of course, the white is a little hard to tell when you have it all mixed because the mica was white and the salt was white. But that's how you can tell you've done a good job. So, the white is mixed, and now onto the orange. So we dumped our salt in here. Whew. Alright, so we have our cup, and now we are going to take I might have to make more because I know I made way more salt than I needed to. So we're just going to put our stuff in here, and we're going to make this the fun way. So and it should be moldable if you did it right. If you mixed your salt and your mica and your resin correctly, you should be able to mold it in here so it stays the way you want it to. So we've got it just on that one side of the cup. Next, we are going to put a little bit of white in here. So we've got a clear definition between the two colors. And then this is a better color. You can see it better. So I'm going to put the pink in here next. And this is why we have a mat, because I'm dropping it everywhere. I'm the messy crafter.
I think we all are.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome, man.
So far, we have it looking like this. So you have clear definition lines of each color. I can't move my hand that far. So we have the white, the orange, and then the pink. And then I'm going to show you guys a little trick. So we have our lid. We are going to stick our handy dandy straw in our lid. We are going to take the purple. Now this only works with slushies. And we are going to put the purple in the lid.
Mom, whose group is it?
My friend Kim's.
Huh?
My friend.
Be back. Be back.
So we have the lid, the cup, and then we're going to magically stick it together. Ta-da! And then line up and push down without having hair in it. And there we go. And then I'm going to push the straw down further, and we have successfully made a slushie in 4 different colors. And I was not paying attention to anything anyone said this whole entire time. So, does anybody have any questions? Do you want me to do something again? I have enough. Like, I have that much left over, and you saw how much epoxy I put in there. Like, I have a ton. Like, literally, a ton of this left over.
Oh.
And I did not use... Mom. What? Uh-oh, hold on. I can't touch you. Hold on. I did not use a lot of epoxy at all, so I'm going to have to make a couple more of these. But these are so much fun to do, these little slushies. Because, you know, your imagination is as far as it goes. So you could basically do whatever you wanted with them. And I don't know how well you guys can see, but using the coarse sea salt, you can see the definition in the salt, which makes it actually look like a real slushie. And these stickers that I have used, I have SVG files for them. You can also get them on Etsy.
Guys, follow Kim.
But I'm a big fan of not using copyrighted material, so if you guys get them, you know, they're completely free of copyright infringement, whatever. They're 100% generic. And I feel like if you're selling it to the public, that's how it should be. But that's just me. You guys do whatever. I'm not anybody. But did you guys want to say anything else before I hop off? You want me to do something again? They are easy. Like these, super easy. Super, super easy. All you do is you mix your alcohol ink in there, and then you put your ice in there. And
cute.
It's cute? Okay. And voila, you're done. This one, the coffee, same thing.
Kim.
You put your alcohol ink, your mica, your paint, whatever you're using in here, and then you're done with your ice or your topping or however you want to do it. And these ones are probably the most intense, but they're also they're my favorite. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. And then people are doing the popcorn, so this is how you would do that. And then you just make popcorn, stick it in there, and then put the lid on. So super cute, super fun, super easy. You can use regular straws. When I was doing this for the doll stuff, I was actually using coffee stir sticks because they're smaller. And it just made more sense. They were easier to, not like straws are hard to cut, but yeah, just any kind of straw, as long as they'll fit through the hole. And those straws do come, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mom, can you check my throat now?
Yeah, it's red.
How rad.
It's red. Okay, so does anybody questions, comments, concerns before I go?
How's your daughter doing? Is she okay?
It's not my group, baby. It's not my group, baby.
Are you gonna take her to the doctor?
Okay, I'm gonna get off here. You guys can ask me questions. You can ask Kim questions. You can ask Rachel questions. We all have the same answers. You're welcome, Kim. I'm glad I could help out. You guys need anything, just give me a holler. All right. Bye, guys.
So what are you going to the doctor?